8 flowers that don't work well in pots. A complete guide for senior gardeners. Container gardening disasters can cost you hundreds of dollars and months of wasted effort. Many gardeners make the same costly mistake, choosing beautiful flowers that look perfect in magazines but fail miserably when planted in pots. These 8 popular flowers will drain your energy, disappoint your expectations, and leave your containers looking sad and empty. Hi everyone, I'm Sam from Seniors Gardening Advice, and I'm about to save you from the most common container gardening mistakes that even experienced gardeners make. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because we share practical gardening wisdom specifically designed for senior gardeners every week. Give this video a thumbs up if you've ever been frustrated by plants that didn't thrive in your containers.
The container gardening reality. Container gardening opens up amazing possibilities for seniors who want to enjoy beautiful blooms without the physical demands of maintaining large garden beds. Whether you're dealing with mobility challenges, limited outdoor space, or simply want to bring gorgeous flowers closer to your living areas, containers offer flexibility and convenience. However, not every stunning flower photographed in gardening magazines will flourish in the confined space of a pot or planter. Some species have evolved with specific root systems, moisture requirements, and growth patterns that make container life extremely challenging. Understanding these limitations before you invest time and money will save you considerable disappointment. The key lies in recognizing that container gardening creates a unique microenvironment. Plants face restricted root space, fluctuating moisture levels, temperature variations, and limited nutrient availability compared to garden bed conditions. While many flowers adapt beautifully to these constraints, others struggle significantly and rarely reach their full potential.
Flower number 1. Peonies, the root system giants. Peonies represent one of the most disappointing container choices for senior gardeners. These beloved perennials develop massive, tuberous root systems that extend deep into the soil, requiring substantial space for proper development. The confined environment of even large containers restricts this natural growth pattern. According to master gardening experts, peonies absolutely hate being disturbed once established. Container growing forces frequent disruptions through repotting, root checking, and seasonal moving, all activities that stress these sensitive plants tremendously. The restricted depth available in most containers prevents the extensive root development that peonies require for long-term health and abundant flowering. Additionally, peonies need consistent, deep watering that penetrates their entire root zone. Container soil dries out much faster than garden soil, creating moisture stress that weakens the plant and reduces blooming. The temperature fluctuations common in containers also disrupt the plant's natural dormancy cycle, essential for proper flower development. Better container alternative? Dahlias. Dahlias provide the same luxurious, full-bodied flower appearance that draws people to peonies, but with much better container performance. These stunning flowers actually prefer the well-draining conditions that containers naturally provide. Their fibrous root system adapts well to confined spaces, and they reward consistent care with abundant blooms throughout the growing season. Choose compact dahlia varieties specifically bred for container growing. Provide regular watering and ensure they receive at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. Stake taller varieties to prevent wind damage, and you'll enjoy months of spectacular blooms.
Flower number 2. Delphinium, the moisture-demanding giants. Delphinium creates breathtaking vertical displays with their towering spikes of densely packed flowers, but they're completely unsuitable for container cultivation. These plants demand consistent soil moisture, a requirement that's nearly impossible to maintain in containers, especially during hot summer weather. The tall, top-heavy growth habit of Delphinium creates additional problems in containers. Even large, heavy pots struggle to provide adequate stability for these giants, which can reach heights of 6 to 8 feet. Strong winds easily topple containers, damaging both the plant and potentially nearby structures or people. Their extensive root systems naturally spread wide and deep, seeking consistent moisture and nutrients. Container restrictions force these roots into unnatural configurations, leading to poor nutrient uptake and increased susceptibility to root rot during wet periods and drought stress during dry spells. Better container alternative, salvia. Salvia species offer similar vertical growing habits and rich, saturated colors, but in much more manageable, container-friendly packages. These plants actually prefer the well-draining conditions that containers provide and demonstrate remarkable drought tolerance once established. Many salvia varieties produce flower spikes throughout the entire growing season with minimal care. They require far less water than Delphinium and handle occasional dry periods without permanent damage. Choose from purple, blue, red, or white flowering varieties to match your color preferences.
Flower number 3. Hollyhocks, the unstable towers. Hollyhocks capture gardeners' hearts with their old-fashioned cottage garden charm and impressive height. But these characteristics make them terrible container candidates. Growing 6 to 8 feet tall, they create an unstable situation when planted in containers, requiring extensive staking and wind protection that's often impractical. The weight distribution of tall hollyhocks in containers creates a high center of gravity that makes toppling inevitable during storms or strong winds. Even large, heavy containers struggle to provide adequate stability for fully mature plants. Container-grown hollyhocks also face increased susceptibility to rust fungus, a common disease that thrives in the humid, crowded conditions often present in container groupings. Poor air circulation around the lower leaves creates perfect conditions for fungal development, leading to unsightly leaf damage and overall plant decline. Better container alternative: dwarf sunflowers. Dwarf sunflower varieties capture the cheerful, bold appearance of hollyhocks while maintaining manageable proportions perfect for container growing. These compact plants rarely exceed 3 to 4 feet in height, providing stability without sacrificing visual impact. Modern dwarf sunflower varieties come in numerous colors beyond traditional yellow, including deep reds, oranges, and bicolored options. They're extremely easy to grow from seed and provide excellent cut flowers for indoor arrangements. Their sturdy stems rarely require staking, even in windy locations.
Flower number 4. Bee balm, the spreading invader. Bee balm earns its reputation as an excellent pollinator plant, but this vigorous perennial quickly outgrows any container through aggressive rhizome spread. What starts as a single plant rapidly multiplies into a dense colony that soon becomes root-bound and stressed. The rapid spreading nature of bee balm means containers require frequent division and repotting, tasks that become increasingly difficult as plants establish larger root systems. Without regular intervention, containerized bee balm develops overcrowded root systems that compete for limited nutrients and water. Container-grown bee balm also faces increased risk of powdery mildew, a fungal disease encouraged by poor air circulation. The confined space of containers, especially when grouped together, creates the humid, stagnant conditions where this disease thrives. Better container alternative? Zinnias. Zinnias provide equally vibrant colors and strong pollinator attraction without the aggressive spreading behavior of bee balm. These annual flowers actually prefer container conditions and respond to regular watering and feeding with continuous blooms throughout the season. Modern zinnia varieties resist common fungal diseases, including powdery mildew, making them much more reliable for container cultivation. They're available in numerous sizes, from compact border types perfect for smaller containers to larger varieties suitable for statement planters. Flower number 5. Milkweed, the taproot challenge. Most milkweed species develop extensive taproot systems that extend several feet deep into native soil. These specialized root structures make transplanting extremely difficult and container growing nearly impossible. The confined space of containers prevents proper taproot development, resulting in weak, stressed plants. Milkweeds have evolved to survive in challenging native conditions through their deep root systems that access moisture and nutrients unavailable to shallow-rooted plants. Container restrictions eliminate this natural advantage, leaving plants vulnerable to moisture stress and nutrient deficiencies. The inconsistent moisture levels common in container cultivation stress milkweed plants significantly. These natives prefer steady but not excessive soil moisture, conditions difficult to maintain in containers that dry out quickly during hot weather. Better container alternative, butterfly weed. Butterfly weed, while technically a milkweed family member, adapts much better to container cultivation than its relatives. This species develops a more manageable root system and tolerates the moisture fluctuations common in container gardening. Butterfly weed produces stunning orange flower clusters that attract butterflies and other beneficial insects just as effectively as traditional milkweed species. The plants remain compact and well-behaved in containers while providing important pollinator habitat.
Flower number 6. Echinacea, the root-bound problem. Echinacea, commonly known as purple coneflower, develops extensive root systems over time that inevitably become root-bound in containers. This crowded root condition leads to poor water and nutrient uptake, resulting in reduced flowering and overall plant decline. The moisture fluctuations common in container gardening stress Echinacea plants considerably. These prairie natives prefer consistent soil moisture without waterlogged conditions, a balance that's challenging to maintain in containers that dry out quickly or become waterlogged during rainy periods. Root-bound Echinacea also becomes difficult to remove from containers for division or repotting. The dense, tangled root mass often requires cutting tools to separate, causing additional stress to already struggling plants. Better container alternative, Coreopsis. Coreopsis provides similar daisy-like flowers with bright, cheerful colors but demonstrates much better container performance. These adaptable plants develop compact, manageable root systems that thrive in confined spaces. The extended blooming period of Coreopsis make them excellent value for container gardens. With regular deadheading, these plants continue producing flowers from spring until fall frost. They're also extremely drought-tolerant once established, reducing watering demands.
Flower number 7. Joe Pye weed, the dual challenge. Joe Pye weed presents a double challenge for container gardeners: extreme height combined with high moisture requirements. These native perennials can reach heights of 8 to 10 feet, creating stability problems in even the largest containers. The moisture requirements of Joe Pye weed conflict directly with typical container growing conditions. These plants need consistently moist soil that rarely dries out, conditions nearly impossible to maintain in containers, especially during hot summer weather. The extensive root systems of mature Joe Pye weed require substantial soil volume for proper development. Even large containers restrict root growth significantly, leading to poor plant performance and reduced flowering. Better container alternative, dwarf agastache. Dwarf agastache varieties provide excellent pollinator attraction in much more manageable sizes, perfect for container cultivation. These aromatic plants produce flower spikes continuously throughout the growing season with minimal care requirements. Agastache demonstrates excellent drought tolerance once established, making them ideal for container gardens where consistent watering can be challenging. The fragrant foliage adds an additional sensory element to container displays.
Flower number 8. Black-eyed Susan, the rapid spreader.
Black-eyed Susans spread aggressively through underground rhizomes, quickly becoming root-bound in containers. This crowded root condition leads to reduced flowering and overall plant stress as roots compete for limited space and nutrients. The poor drainage common in some container setups can lead to root rot in black-eyed Susans, especially during wet weather periods. These plants need well-draining soil to prevent fungal problems that can kill entire plants. Container-grown black-eyed Susans also face increased susceptibility to powdery mildew when air circulation around the plant is poor. Grouped containers create the humid conditions where this fungal disease thrives. Better container alternative is Calibrachoa. Often called million bells, provides similar yellow and orange color options in a much more suitable container format. These compact plants produce abundant small flowers continuously throughout the growing season. The trailing habit of Calibrachoa make them perfect for hanging baskets and combination containers. They require minimum maintenance beyond regular watering and occasional feeding to maintain peak performance.
Practical container gardening tips for seniors. Successful container gardening for seniors requires choosing plants that naturally adapt to restricted growing conditions. Look for compact varieties specifically bred for container cultivation rather than trying to force large garden plants into pots. Consider your physical limitations when planning container gardens. Choose lightweight containers or use wheeled plant caddies to make moving easier. Group containers near water sources to reduce carrying distances for watering. Invest in quality potting mix specifically formulated for containers rather than using garden soil, which compacts in containers and drains poorly. Good potting mix provides proper drainage while retaining adequate moisture for healthy plant growth. Consider self-watering containers or drip irrigation systems if consistent watering becomes challenging. These systems help maintain steady moisture levels that many container plants prefer.
Understanding which flowers struggle in containers saves senior gardeners time, money, and frustration. The 8 flowers we've discussed, Peonies, Delphinium, Hollyhocks, bee balm, Milkweed, Echinacea, Joe Pye weed, and black-eyed Susans, all face significant challenges when grown in containers due to their root systems, size, or moisture requirements. The alternative suggestions we've provided, dahlias, salvia, dwarf sunflowers, zinnias, butterfly weed, coreopsis, dwarf agastache, and calibrachoa, offer similar visual appeal with much better container performance. These plants will reward your care with abundant blooms in healthy growth throughout the growing season. Remember that successful container gardening comes from matching plants to their preferred growing conditions rather than forcing unsuitable plants into containers. Choose the right plants from the start and you'll enjoy beautiful container displays with minimal frustration. Thanks for watching Seniors Gardening Advice. If this information helped you avoid costly container gardening mistakes, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with fellow gardening enthusiasts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our weekly gardening tips specifically designed for senior gardeners. Leave a comment below sharing your own container gardening experiences. We love hearing from our gardening community. Until next time, keep growing and keep learning.